Y'all probably hate that I'm in the character creation screen again if you ever watch these. And technically, I should be sleeping because I need to drive 4 hours in the morning or the next couple hours, and then I'm gonna get me a puppy. But uh, I'm gonna show y'all what I have been working. It was kind of scratching my brain for a little bit. I've tested a few things. This is the latest iteration and probably the all-around better build that I've made for a balanced build in Scum. So what this is 2.8 strength, 1.2 con, max dexterity, and 3 intelligence. Now, to go over this a little bit, strength levels up faster while it's lower. So it doesn't really matter exactly, but you can go up to 8 strength, you can go up to 3 on constitution, dexterity, you can go up to 5, intelligence, you can go up to 5, but you get the basically the max value out of it at 3. Dexterity levels as you lose weight, which is what we were trying to do before, was eat enough protein to level up our strength and lose enough fats to basically keep the protein or the fats burning to keep the dexterity going. But this is what's happened. We ended up going essentially at this medium melee. I put a post on Reddit as well. You can look it up over this if you just want to read what I've kind of written down. It says all around build for Scum in 2022. We're doing this in melee because it essentially is going to be about 160,000 XP or something to max this out. From videos I've seen, they're getting about 25 XP or something for kill, and then I seen some videos where people are getting 1 XP per hit while crafting and doing other things. So this averages out at about 6,000 or so, 6,000, 7,000 kills needed to get this done. I figured if you do get 1 XP or something per hit while crafting, then this will probably balance itself out to about 4,000 plus, kind of depending, and then max out on its own. To keep this going, we'll need heavier weight and we'll need protein intake for all of this, okay? Running, we're at 1.2. We're going all the way up and running, mainly because the endurance will lower our calorie consumption, which I'm assuming will make us fat. And I think as we gain weight, yeah, as we gain weight, we will lose our dexterity. However, we will gain weight, gaining muscle mass, and hopefully that's what won't bring our dexterity down. So that's basically what's going on is we're trying to supercharge how much strength that we can gain constantly. And having this at 5 already, where our skills are pretty much where we need them to be, I think will help out quite a bit. Running though at 1.2, we normally go medium running anyway when I build stuff. Uh, I don't think running is going to be like the most valuable thing later on into the game. It's pretty valuable early. We're going to be slower. When you get to medium, you get a 10% movement speed buff. When you get to advanced, it's about 15%. I'm perfectly fine with 10%. I was doing fine with it before. The more we run, the more this will level. So we only needed to go up 0.3 for us to be able to get running to medium. And then after that, I really don't care. And endurance can get up to that point. Dexterity, we're getting 5 dexterity because it increases your base movement speed, which I think may offset what we've lost in running. I haven't tested it yet though. Uh, then you get increased speed at doing tasks, crafting, construction, all of that stuff, which should increase the speed that we can get survival, engineering done, and all of our base building done. Anytime we need to build and craft supplies, fires, anything emergency wise, it should increase our ability to increase our medical because you have to cut the rags and stuff. So all those emergency situations will be a lot better with dexterity, as well as dexterity should not degrade as much at the beginning of the game because it levels up with while losing weight. And when we don't have any supplies, we'll probably be losing a decent amount of weight. For this, I think we went. 2 for throwing. Let me try to look at this real quick. Uh, 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 uh. 3 points less than advanced throwing, I believe. Let me look. So we were either there, 2, 3. We're either there or we were here. If we drop this down, so at 3 below, that is 200,000 XP that you need. Oh yeah. So we got this at about 200,000 XP, and we got this up to about 500,000, 600,000 XP here. The 200,000 XP that you need from throwing, from what I saw, they were getting 25. With most weapons, you could throw rocks and get 50 in half the time that it would take you to do things. But I'm just going off with kills and stuff, not necessarily throwing the actual items. But it ended up being about uh, 4,000, 5,000 or so kills, which is on par with a bow and arrow. So essentially, bow and arrows level up pretty fast. You can go to medium and then max with like 4,400 kills or so, is what I've seen. If that is the case, then we should be able to level up our throwing fully maxed out within a few days or a week. That means that once our throwing is done, we can swap over and start leveling our archery. Now, medium stealth it's okay. It's going to be decent versus the AI and stuff. And the more AI they put into the game, which they plan on doing apparently, this is becoming more and more prevalent and necessary. We'll be able to use this more during the game to help us stay, safe. Helps us with looting. Helps us with hunting. All of that good stuff. So I will probably keep this medium here. The benefits with 5 dexterity starting is I believe it should help us level up not only our survival and engineering and medical, uh, and all of that, it should help us level up our thievery and driving, demolition, throwing, stealth, and motorcycling. If this has any effect at all at the XP gain, it should allow us to gain more XP on our stealth, which I'm very happy to do. Also, all these skills here are not necessarily vital to survival. They are very good to have, but they're useless unless you actually have a vehicle or, something to lockpick or anything like that. So once we get a vehicle, if we have 5 decks, we should be able to max this out, I would think, as fast as possible. I think that would be good. Now, intelligence wise, it looks like I think we went one less than medium awareness. I haven't fully specced out what I want here exactly yet. Um, I'm not sure about the medium awareness thing yet because it may be a pain to get this to advanced because we need 1 million points in awareness to get this to advanced. However, you don't need advanced off the base of the game if you really don't want to. And some people start with medium. And then I think we had 2 or so in this, and then we had this in engineering. So basically, what's going down here is compared to our last build where we were starting off, we don't really need to just make weapons and go out. That we had uh, the, the survival skill up to here. So by the time we had like a basic base put down and all of our weapons and stuff built, this leveled up to basic and we were ready to go for the most part and start our survival journey. However, our engineering, it would take us a while to build even our first base, and doing that would probably be enough to level survival up to basic anyway. So it's kind of a toss up on the skill. I don't know if it's going to be necessary or not, but it is the quickest way to unlock the backpack and stuff for the skill. Now, when we look at it, I don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, but medium survival, I don't remember exactly what it unlocks. So let me go up real quick. I don't think it tells us on the website either. So let's go running in endurance, that survival affects your basic crafting speeds. I don't know exactly. When we get into game, I can see it. I don't remember, but my thinking is that if we're actually building a base, we're going to get a lot more points in survival because every time you break down an item, you generate more and more points in survival. And so since we have to build walls and structures and everything else, we could probably get basic to medium survival just doing that. Now for engineering, I have this a little bit lower than medium. We could just go ahead and put it to medium because I wanted to be able to basically start building the walls and the beginner's hut on my first base, and then get access to the large wood storage. And then, so basically, I want the large wood storage, and then I can toss wood in there for crafting and to store it. I don't really know how practical it would be, but it also gives me access to, I believe the water well is the second thing that I really wanted to get a hold of. In case I build a base that happens to be in the middle of nowhere with no access to water, the water well would give me the ability to get water in the locations, as well as it should, I believe, help unlock canteens and other things. Maybe that was. We'll look at it when we get in here real quick, but after this, I'm gonna hop off and maybe nap for a minute or make some coffee. I don't know exactly what time it is, but the idea behind this is basically when we start off, we're gonna do everything faster with dexterity maxed. Then we will end up getting intelligence. We can still max every skill out, but you essentially would need teammates to help you level up engineering if you wanted to, or play for a long time with engineering maxed. Medium awareness is good enough for hunting and most other things that you need to do early. Um, so I think all that's perfectly fine. We are right on the edge of here. Not the best, not the worst. Might try to land. That's the wall, I believe. What is that? It's a road. It's a road right there. Yeah, so that goes across to the other side. Access to an underpass here. So let us look. I mean, our movement speed still isn't terrible. We're not super heavy, so I think we're okay. Let's go ahead and look at this. Yeah, so we still need like 160 there. We need 3,000 experience or so to level up this, and it looks like it's leveling up now on its own. This is going up by a decent amount just by us moving, so this will be the first thing we level. This isn't moving at all, which is good because as we lose weight, this will should stay the same. The throwing skill, we need 200,000 to max. Stealth, we need about 500,000, 470, so something like that. But you can see, like, if we crouch and we're doing that, it's going up, and it'll take a little bit of time, but we can also max that with the camo skill, doing stuff like this. It'll just take a little bit more time to do it. Now, when we go and we look at awareness, we need 1,000 XP to get medium awareness. we need engineering, we need 1,000 XP to get medium engineering, and survival, we need 6,000 to get medium survival. Camouflage is already leveling up. It looks like we need 10,000 XP to get to. Oh, we need 10,000 XP in awareness to get to medium. So essentially, this right here is going to take just as long to level up as camouflage would to get to basic, which is fine. And this one is going to take just as long as a level 1 skill to get to medium. Now, a survival is just getting a head start because we wanted access to the backpack. If not, we could have dumped survival probably onto camouflage or medical, something like that, if you wanted more access to that. I don't remember. Oh yeah, we're gonna look at crafting real quick. So you can see right now, you don't need any skill for this. So basic survival, I believe, gives us access to most of these weapons here. And I think fishing line and the improvised shotgun, if I'm believing correctly. And I think the second ranking, it's either the second ranking of that or the second ranking of engineering gives us access to the shotgun. So I think it's the engineering that should. But you can see right now we already have access to the wheelbarrow wheel, which we can craft and make, but we need the improvised workbench to build that. Or we can go to one of those stations and build it in town. And I'm not opposed to going and doing that in town, but we're going to need an improvised workbench at some point to build ammunition anyway. Uh, so then we go back up here and then we look. I believe all of this, I believe, is survival level 2. Or no, this is no skill. Let me look real quick. Yeah, so advanced, we're not going to have access to any of these bullets here, but with medium, uh, with medium engineering, we'll have access to these shotgun shells and the revolver bullets. And the revolvers should not jam as much, and they have good stopping power. Shotguns have really good stopping power, and the pistols and the shotguns are the easiest things to buy early game. So we'll have a power spike earlier there if we were in a race with somebody if we wanted to. Um, metal arrows, I think, is survival. Fishing rods are survival. I believe all of this up here requires basic survival and maybe engineering. The improvised wheel you need for that. Water bucket is good because it can hold liquids, but you need it for hunting and everything else. But it's not hard to craft, so you can see. Now, when we go down here, we look, when we hit basic survival, we'll get improvised backpack. So just using that on its own will give us a good amount of space to use for construction and projects and stuff like that. You get the improvised water canister, which lets us we can get this from puppets as well, just killing them and using what we find there. But that'll allow us to carry water so we don't have to worry so much about our consumption rates like we had before, as well as it will increase our body weight to allow us to level strength and stuff faster. And then we can also build, boots and everything else that we need as well from hunting. We just have to have access to thread, which is the biggest issue, is access to thread. Now, the basics, we have access already to this iron lock. So we can already craft and build this iron lock to lock structures and basic lock protection. But with the second level, we will unlock medium lock protection, which anyone who doesn't start with like medium or advanced lock picking may have a harder time doing it. We get access to a remote door key used to remotely interact with a door sensor, which will help us if we wanted to like have a remote door key for our vehicle to get in and out to close the door faster. Um, yeah, so we can build that and access to a silver lock, which will make it a little bit harder for them to get in. And then we won't have access to the advanced or gold lock, and we won't have access to these bullets here. But any of these bullets, I would probably just prefer to get them in game, probably. Then we look down here, all this food stuff, I don't think it's really important yet. You can see crafting, so like this right here, long wooden sticks. There's brake oil, gunpowder, you can use rags, pretty much all kinds of stuff. Stones and wooden logs. This means that we could probably just carry a bunch of spears, break them down into sticks, and then drop down and get some rags or something, tinder, some rocks, and then cut down a tree, and boom, you got a campfire. The improvised fireplace right here is small wooden sticks, and then just this. So if we're out in the snow biome or anything, or in the wilderness, all we need to do is break down one or two spears, put them down, make the fire, and put in some tindering, and then probably need the fire drill wherever that is to build it. We still have access to the shelter and the improvised bed for short time use, which is fine. We have access to the fortifications, but we instantly get access to this wheelbarrow, which you can see we only need a basic tool, uh, bolts or nails, the wheel, planks, and branches. So this right here is going to help us build and move materials a lot easier. We do need the wheel, so you go and look at the wheel real quick. And this right here, you need bolts or nails, you need the tool, you need the improvised workbench, which is why we need medium engineering. And then, I mean, all of this is just metal components and sticks and things, so it's not that big of a deal. The building spears also allows us to like move materials and repurpose the spears as we go along, which I really like. And then what do we got going on here? So this was no skill, I think survival, no skill. We have access to improvised toolboxes, which this again only just requires like some sort of tool in hand, I think. So we need the stone hammer, and then bolts, nails, wooden planks, and metal. So that wouldn't be too hard to make. All these torches, you can see just a long stick and a rag, and you can make a torch. Use navigating at night, and yeah, it makes you easier to spot, but who cares? So this is the fire drill. All you need is a tool and two long wooden sticks. So basically, with four spears, you could build a fire and start it or whatever else that you needed to do. So yeah, this was all the stuff we got here. We get access to improvised bulletproof armor at basic survival, but it does require that thread, which is the hardest thing for me to find. I have not found much thread, and apparently it's the only thing you can't craft in the game. So once we get to medium engineering, we unlock improved wooden chest, which is improved wooden chest made by skilled craftsmen used for storing items, and we get full metal fortifications. So we can fortify basic buildings and things with metal instead of wood. So that is for basically temporarily going out. It's just 10 pieces of metal and 5 lead plates, and then you need a toolbox. So not too shabby. Now, so the basic building stuff here that we had access to is just the walls and everything else. But once we get to level 2, um, with engineering, our cost for building things goes down, the health on the things go up, and I believe our speed and everything else will go down. So we're trying to plan what we can actually do. And so honestly, like my first thing when I'm building my first base is I'm just going to go for a basic wooden cabin, 30 logs, 15 wood planks, you need metal scraps, and you need a toolbox. That's going to be the main building that I'm looking to do. I may build a temporary shelter and a bed just like I normally do, somewhere kind of isolated to where I can get my hands on enough stuff to craft a wheelbarrow or something, and then move out and build this log cabin. But you can see you can get furniture, you can get these watchtowers, the tops, um, and the base, everything that you would need for that, which could help you with hunting or something maybe as well, or just Overwatch. A bunch of just decent items. You get a cabin door, which is decent for protection. If I can put multiple cabins, I might just build multiple cabins. You get tables. You can get access to bobbed wire, which is a good one. A tent. So a tent made for sheltering against harsh weather conditions and scary birds. This requires a lot of cloth, but I mean, metal, rope, cloth, this tent. I don't know if it has any storage or anything. You get these basic blocks. You get target stands, which can probably help us level up our rifle skills and stuff, maybe. We get barricades. So this would probably be, I don't know how useful it'll be, maybe useful for cars. You get stairs, wooden TV, chandeliers, a rug, the foundations that you would need. So essentially, we would probably just build these foundations, but we need toolboxes for these. So we're gonna have to go and get toolboxes and craft them at some point. Which basically we just need a hammer, and then we need to go find bolts and nails and metal. So just collect all the metal that we can, throw them and make some toolboxes. That's going to be when we start making our runs into town. So essentially, our first base just needs to be a temporary shelter, and then we need to go collect as many supplies as possible, bring it back to where we're going to build our cabin and stuff, build our storage and everything, and get that done. And then you can do a small woodshed for materials. Um, so just planks and then like bolts or nails and toolbox. That's just a small storage, which would kind of get us off the ground. And then we got these dressers and stuff like this. None of this really super concerning. I think a basic wood cabin, as you can see, it's 30 and 15, whereas a medium cabin is 50 and 30, which it isn't terrible. I mean, it's just a little bit of extra supply, but I don't think it's necessarily needed. We might be able to make both of them in the same base. I don't really know, but I think it's perfectly fine. You can get a weapon rack to hold your stuff and everything. So that's all pretty cool. And wall-mounted weapon racks. But once we get medium engineering, we get this. I don't know where we get the drill or this rebar cutter, but we can build um, this workbench to craft our ammunition and all of that. This well is what will give us water, and we could stick that in a base. So ideally, I would like to set up an outpost that people could come and trade at. Um, and then what we got? We got trophies that we can build and set up. And then essentially this large log shed, it was what I was looking to build. It's 20 and 16 here compared to 8 and 10. But this is small and the other one's large. I just wanted the large one and I wanted access to the water well. That's essentially all I'm really looking for here. Um, and that it gives us access to, the medium locks and stuff, and I believe the shotgun cartridge. So for a quick test, let's look real quick here at metabolism. So this is still good. This is still going up. So we go ahead and we search for rocks. You all saw like how long it took us to do stuff before. I ain't gonna say that this is gonna drastically increase any of our time or anything that we're going to do, but essentially, oh, we also have access to the rafts. So right now we could build a big raft, but it requires quite a lot of materials, and I believe we can do medium fortifications possibly. Um, but having the raft early, I think, is pretty good. Even though we're gonna have to get access to bottles but the rope and everything else won't be too bad. Plus, it has storage and it's mobile. So, like, we're right here. We could technically take the raft, ride it all the way down this river, and be able to get to this point. And I want to kind of see if I can build on something over here at some point. So, I want to go check this out. Plus, I usually find guns and things over here as well. My issue with this place down here is there's not really anything to hunt, and that is my main problem. Whereas where we built our base before over here had like bugs and all kinds of stuff for us to eat for protein. So yeah, we need access to bottles if we are going to do that. And the closest town is down south to us pretty much. Let's go ahead and grab this. Let's see, basic info, AB, we have our teeth, temperature, our run speed, running skills +8. So, I mean, we lost 2% compared to what we did have. And we're at 29 kilometers per hour, which is pretty fast compared to uh, a lot of the stuff I've seen before. So, I can cut down this tree. And we still got a decent amount of melee damage as well. So, we're kind of surprisingly uh, stout, I would say, for how small that we do seem. Okay. A couple of long sticks. Then we'll go ahead and shove those over here. And I guess we'll cut one into smaller sticks and make some rope. And get ourselves an axe, and that way we could start producing some stuff a little bit easier. Or we could just make some stone spears and go into town. See if we can get the fire drill and everything else here. So I don't recall the hoodie having so much space in it, but then we go ahead and grab that, and then we go mow my house. And search for a rock, get the thread, get the big stick. Need 2 rocks. Okay. Two rocks, gotcha. So now if we go and look at this, I mean, survival's already went up 350 XP. Engineering hasn't leveled at all. Awareness has went up 90. So we just got another 50 XP, and we went up 5 XP here. Shabby. And we are now armed. Go ahead and take a rock. To go cut some more bushes. As you can see on your spears, you can go over here and click to uncraft it, and I believe you get all your materials back for the most part. Muscle gain is not 4, so I mean we have a decent amount of leveling there early. All right, so this I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the one next to it. So I mean, this is going up by a decent amount, so we might be able to get strength to 3 pretty early. And if that's the case, then we could get strength to 3. We already have everything else ready, and then we didn't really care about any of that anyway. So okay, gonna take that. Go find another rock. So survival is already at 460, or I've already gained 600 basically with survival is what's going on. And we're gaining 50 per craft pretty much at the moment, and then we're gaining I don't know how much awareness, like I think like 5 awareness or something every time that we get awareness. So it wouldn't take long for those basically to level up. All right. So now we have 2 throwables, and currently we're leveling that. I don't believe we're not weighing enough to level strength, I guess, at the moment. But we are still pretty fast. Our movement speed is 29 kilometers per hour. Now we got to head down to this village. I feel like we're moving decently fast, though. We have a good amount of melee damage. We have a good amount of speed. We look like a tribesman. See, so if we set up our base, I'd see it. I don't have my volume going through my headset either, so I don't know what direction it came from. Apparently, there's a good bit of them out here. You're moving pretty darn quick, though. I mean, we've already made it from like right here to down here in a minute or so. 30 kilometers per hour. I mean, if we maxed dexterity and conditioning, fast, very fast. current. I mean, we're dropping a decent bit. Got a stamina. All right. So camo is almost all the way to basic already. Well, not almost, but like halfway to basic. Considering we didn't have any of that at the very beginning, I think that's fine. And like strength wise, I think we're faster than anyone that has probably, full strength and, it might be slower than someone that has speed, but I think we have enough speed to handle somebody who has a bunch of strength. Should be right here. This is a military base. Oh, not good. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think this is improved. And the increased speed is allowing me to heal the C1 injuries faster. So I like that. You go here, and then that's pretty much done. So we take these rags, shove this in our pocket, and then we go back over here and we look at stats. Got 17 XP there. It's a lot of metal here, but not particularly what I'm after at the moment. I don't even know what I'm after at the moment. I don't remember. I always said we needed to make toolboxes and stuff at some point, right? What were we doing? I think we wanted a raft, maybe. Yeah, so we'd need bottles for a raft. Toolbox wise, I mean, there's enough stuff here for us to get that, but this was not a village, so we kind of screwed ourselves. Anyway, I mean, the damage still seems nice. We're attacking pretty fast. 0%. We got 2 bottles. Oh, they may have just killed us right there, to be honest. I don't particularly want to be over here, though. I kind of want to be somewhere that's near one of those trading posts. We're going to be perfectly honest here. Yeah, so this would be all right. This is pretty close to where I wanted to go see something anyway. 2, we gotta head that way. The heck is that? Oh, that's that build. Oh no, I'm gonna land on it. It's that bunker I don't want to be at. Basically, over here is a I don't know exactly what's all on these islands, but there's a bunch of military things around here. Where we just landed, there's actually a bunker. And over here, there's an airport. And then across here is a cannon. And I really wanted to build around that cannon and turn it into a base, or at least somewhere around here, because literally right here, you have an airport that you can land a plane at. And if I could build there, I would definitely build there and build a hangar. And then somewhere nearby, I would build an actual base to stay at. And then I don't really see anything deadly in the woods, but I had a hard time finding meat would be the problem. So I'd have to have a different area for me to go hunt. But if I build there at that little cannon, I have access to the water, which I can then use a raft to sail up the coastline here. And I would have access to pretty much everything this coastline could get me close to, as well as being able to use the raft to get to this thing over here instead of going over the bridge. As long as the sharks can't, eat the raft. I want to go up to the airport, see if there's anything there maybe, and then yeah, speaking of which, I think what I'll do real quick is on the way there we'll craft a couple of knives, because we can have a knife in our hand and we can have I believe a knife in our pocket, but we can't have the knife in here. But that would give us, a couple of options in a fight. I'm not really going to spend the time crafting a spear, I don't think. You know what? It's not going to be that long. I'll go ahead and craft one. Literally all we need for spears. I mean, I ain't going to spend the time to craft a rope or anything, but we can make a couple of basic spears real quick. Let's go ahead and improvise wooden spear. And improvise wooden spear. Yep. How fast we can arm ourselves, people. Oh yeah, our awareness is already up a bit. Survival just went up 10 or something. I mean, it's not that bad. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get 3 wooden spears. Pretty much just with a spear, we should be fine. But 3 will give us, something that we can throw or whatever in an emergency. So I'm fine with it. Let me go ahead and stick that in there and do that. And should be good. how fast that you can get armed, okay? Not only am I ranged, I'm also melee. And I haven't really wasted any inventory space or anything like that, so what's my movement speed at right now? Still at 29. Should be right on that airport right now. So far, every time I've came to this place, um, I feel like it's a really good place because it has shoes and clothes, it has guns, tools, everything else that you could possibly want. Even has this little gas tank over here, which I don't know if it's full, but you can drink it. I'm assuming it's gas and not water, but seems to have a variety of like everything that you need right out the bat. So, these trash cans, metal scraps. There's a couple of cars outside. Has access to money. You get fireworks. You can find stuff on the ground. I find pretty nice. Rocks. That leather pistol holder. That sledgehammer. Gonna drop that. Gonna do a little sledgehammer action here. Boom. Get a little jacket. I'm saying it's something about this airport. Every time I've been here, it's such a pleasant experience. Okay, rags, you have paper. There's always like I don't know if I'll find it here, but usually there's like a parachute in here somewhere, and when you cut the parachute up, you get a crap ton of rags and stuff off of it. What is that? A military compass. There's a whole bunch of just what seems like really nice starting supplies in this place. And then you have a military bunker not too far away. You got a sales place that's not too far away. So I mean, there's a decent bit going on right here. See, right here's a parachute, and you can basically, carry that and yeah. So we got a little bit of weight on us now. You can cut that up and have a bunch of band or a bunch of rags out of it. Is pretty nice. There always seems to be like a decent amount of clothes and everything else here for you to use. There's a bra on the ground, chairs, there's all these things. So there's like wire cutters and stuff that you can find. You see nails, wire cutters, rope or wire, and there's multiple bills of wire. There's like shoe boxes everywhere. So you got this, you got 3 shoe boxes in each one. You can get some high tops. I'm just gonna go ahead and wear the high tops. So metal. I mean, these things have a bunch of stuff in them. Some more nails. The thing, like, we know that we need nails for like storage box. A piece of rubber you can make masks and stuff out of. We got 4 more shoe boxes. And then I believe some other stuff over here, but airplane repair kit, you see? And a screwdriver. Like, that was in a drawer. And more shoes, bunch of high tops, the box. Just a good amount of stuff in here. I mean, every time it's always a pleasant experience. That isn't even half of what's in here because there's all these other shoe boxes and stuff. Like you can come and get shoes anytime you like. I feel like that's like one of the biggest things like early, if you can't get decent shoes, what are you gonna do? And you got all the access to the nails and wires and metal and all the basic crafting stuff that you need right here. And then I believe it even has like a bench and everything else that you need. Uh, More shoes. Always high tops around here. Gotta dig it. But you see them, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff everywhere, and you got boxes everywhere. You can find clothes and stuff on the ground. You got all these bolts and things that you need. So like all you got to do is like come over here every now and then and pick up some stuff is what I feel. You know, you have those cars in the parking lot. You have all these trash cans and stuff. Some more nails. Speaking of which, though, what I was gonna do was come over here. This is only one of the places, but I was gonna go ahead and take the airplane door frame. This place also spawns vehicles. In case you're wondering. This place is like a protected area. You can't like build here, but I was wondering if there's a build limit on the outside, somewhere. Let's try to flag. Oh, maybe we can't. I was really curious because I mean that one place is literally right across the street, and I really wanted to build where that bunker is because I'm pretty sure I can make a little carport for my vehicle, and then I can put like some other stuff over there. But basically, I think I can make a little carport to store my stuff and not be like too conspicuous about what I'm doing. Like this is way over here. There's still a guard tower, but I think, I mean, I should get somewhere close, I would think. I haven't found anything up in the guard towers yet, but I feel like there should be, so. Rocks. So this is towards the end. Now the question becomes, is there a point? Because this right here is all relatively flat. until this right here. So as long as you were like far enough away but close enough to use the strip, I don't think it would really matter. But I mean, I guess you could just use the hanger that they already have there if the plane fits. They have one that closes. You basically just have to keep an eye on it. But that place does spawn vehicles though. I seen a video where there was like SUV and stuff there. I had one motorcycle spawn on single player when I was testing stuff out, and then we had it can spawn airplanes, I guess, because it's an airport. So seems like a pretty decent place to something. Now, if I can't build a base over here, I'm at least going to put my bed inside this bunker, wherever it is. Can't see very well right now. Sure, I went too far anyway, so. I do know that goats can spawn over here, and they do a lot of damage, but I don't know because I only found the one, and then I couldn't find anything when I was looking to hunt something when I was over here. So I don't know necessarily how well they do everything. Maybe I just need to like wait till morning because I feel like it should be right here somewhere, I believe. And if I can turn it into a house, I most definitely will. Might be a little bit too far. You're pretty high up, and I don't recall there being a mountain this high right here. Yeah, right there. Now, would it be the easiest thing to defend? No. But, oh shoot. Here, health. Go ahead and treat that. No way, all he had was a hat and some bow. So it seems that we're not going to be allowed to build over here either, so. Has a bag though. What? Such baloney. He had a backpack, 100%. Uh, yeah. So, but it seems we're not going to be allowed to build here. On my single player world, it let me, but I pretty much knew better, but whatever. Because I put the flag up on top of this thing before. But this will be, a decent place for us to like start, build our little area. Essentially, you have one doorway, you have windows to shoot out of. I know a goat can spawn over here. And every time I was here before, I found, something pretty good on the ground, so not the smartest idea I've ever had, to be honest. See, they have ammo in here, so that's 30. The option is like I could put my bed right here, a lower part, but I don't really think that's the best call. I feel like dexterity definitely does increase the speed pretty decently, though. Alright. Yeah. Because, I mean, there's a little bit of stuff in here. I might not be able to fit my bed in here, but go ahead and do crafting. Crafting bed. Unless they don't let you build beds yet, so I mean, we'll just go ahead and place my bed right here. Uh, go bed. Trying to make it, somewhat blend in, but I guess that's not possible. Back up to the top. Go ahead, just put it in this corner. Screw it. Give me, a way to kind of prop myself up out of this window if I need it. All right. And we can put a wooden chest in here for one, or we could bury it outside. I'll just stick it in here for now, I guess. This middle office, maybe. Yeah. If there's a way to like inside of something or to make it blend a little bit extra, but let's go ahead and set it on the table. Nails, and then you just need the rope and some planks, and we're pretty much good. Yeah, but that's pretty much all I wanted to show you on that. I think this is probably one of the most balanced builds you can get on Scum. You can free to try it out, test it out, make some tweaks, tell me what you think about it. I think it's probably, pretty top tier from what I can gather. You won't be the strongest out the bat, but like long term, you'll be stronger and better equipped than everyone else.